Come on, take a sip. Come on, take a sip. Come on, take a sip. With Tikka's tips.
Hello there, and welcome to the first official episode of Tikka Tipples. Woo! I have a theme song now. I'm so excited. I had so much fun creating it and shooting it here alone in my house. Well, with my amazing daughter, the camera gal, who's working for me right now. She works for peanuts. I've got a jar of peanuts on the counter. It's true. It's amazing. So it's a fall, and it is back to school time. It was pretty much the weirdest Labor Day weekend that I've spent, not having anyone starting school the next day, with everyone still under wraps, literally and figuratively. It's a very odd time. My heart goes out to the teachers who are going to be facing all these germy, gross kids. Like, I'm grossed out by kids at the best of time, because really, between the snot and the tooting and the fighting and the coughing, kids are gross. You love your own kids, but kids are disgusting. And I don't know how teachers put up with it. So in honor of them, I have created, and I'm going to present to you today, the teacher's pet. Because every teacher needs good nutrition. The typical gift for a teacher on the first day of school is an apple. Delightful. The apple's a fun fruit, really, like looking biblically with it, corrupting Adam and Eve in the garden, with Snow White. The apple was the poison as well. A little bit of history there. And the one cool thing you can make with apples is apple cider vinegar. And the stuff is awesome. It has so many amazing qualities. This one, made right here in Ontario, good old Phil Singers. And it's good for inflammatory purposes. Well, it's an it doesn't inflame you. It's an anti-inflammatory. It's really good like for acid reduction or anything like that. So if I've got heartburn bothering me, I'll have some apple cider vinegar in water or in a bit of bubbly water. It's really nice. It's refreshing. It's sweet. It's naturally tangy. So this is going to be one episode where, aside from the pickle one, I'm not using any citrus, because this one has all the tang and all the acid we need. So this one comes together really quickly. The longest part of the procedure was making my simple syrup. So simple syrup is typically an equal amount of white sugar and water that's just simmered together until the sugar dissolves. Boy, my dog is agitated and barking a lot today. I've got Ziggy providing the soundtrack for us here. So this syrup is a little different. I went with the fall theme. So embracing autumn and all of its wonders that it has, I did water and brown sugar. And as it was simmering away, look, I even put props out. Brown sugar, which my camera girl pointed out, kind of looks like sand. Which is true. So if you were doing, like a beach cake or anything like that, a much tastier addition to top your icing than actual sand. So equal amount of water and brown sugar. And then I added cinnamon to it also as it was simmering. If you've ever tried to dissolve cinnamon in cold water, it's futile. It doesn't work. So as you're simmering the water with your brown sugar, add a couple of shakes of cinnamon in it. And then, once it's all melted and cooled down, you've got your delicious autumnal syrup. So, we're going to start our beverage with some of that yummy sweet stuff. So, I've got my penguin, keeping things cool. I filled him with some ice, so he's truly embracing his natural habitat. So, I'm going to add 1 part of my simple fall syrup. So, we're going to put that right in there. Glug, 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 and in it goes. Now, we've got to add our apple component. As you can see, apple cider vinegar is quite popular in my house. I'll buy another bottle the next time I'm out. So we're going to add 1 part of apple cider vinegar, which is really, it's just, the smell of apple is so pronounced in it, and it has an incredible tang that's really, really something. It's not tangy enough to drown out Ziggy's barks, but it's probably good practice, because if you've got to be in front of a class of, 25 to 35 students, however much your district technically approves as safe, this might help drown those out. So if you can drown out Ziggy, drown out your students, drown your sorrows at the end of a day with a nice teacher's pet, it's a good thing. So I don't want Martha Stewart to sue me. Sorry, it's not a good thing. I'm sorry. It's delicious. How about that? So I've got, also from Ontario, we're representing for our province today. This is a lovely Collingwood whiskey, and it's so nice. It has such a depth. Like, look at the beautiful color. It's pretty close in color, actually, to my sugar syrup. And it's just got a really nice spicy hint to it. So we have our 1 part of sugar water, or sugar syrup. We've got 1 part apple cider vinegar. And now we're gonna add 2 parts of your favorite whiskey. So we're gonna glug that baby in. And glug in the number 2. I do have a heavy hand. No, I'm gonna be moderate. It's all about balance. That's another thing. As we're heading back to school, you've got to find that balance between the academics and the after school and the packing of the lunches, and thankfully we still have another week to prepare. Not like the past 6 months haven't given us enough downtime, but there's a lot to consider. Anyways, I digress. I'm not gonna get into a whole educational discussion. I'm just gonna shake up my teacher's pet. Shaky to shaky, shaky to shaky. And this time I'm holding onto the lid securely, so we don't have another oopsie pickle accident. Okay, so shaky, shaky, shaky. You really want to get some of that coldness and the water from the ice into it, because this drink is potent. Woo! Okay, so you flip off your penguin's head and you get your lovely glass and you give it a... Is it gonna fit? This is a... Oh yes, I planned that exactly. There we go. Nice, filled to the brim with deliciousness. And since I feel kind of weird not slicing any citrus for this episode, I'm gonna slice up a pretty garnish. So I'm just gonna daintily move this a little bit to the side. You stay. Okay, so I've got that apple, the apple of corruption. The door opens to sin, and we give a little slice, and we give another little slice, and you know what? I'm gonna go for a whole ring, because that's just the kind of mood I'm in. I'm gonna get a whole nice slice, beautiful, and I'm gonna cut a little divot out of it so that it will rest perfectly onto my glass. Look at that. It's Pac-Man! No, it's an apple. Okay, all these trademark things today. All right, so I'm going to very gingerly slip my apple onto the rim of my glass. And look at that. Now I know you can't really present this to a teacher, but if you were to get a nice little thermos, something kind of subtle that looks like it would carry coffee or anything like that, I'm sure any teacher worth their salt would appreciate one of these at the end of a workday, at the end of a work month, at the end of a semester, or what the hell, it's COVID times, at the beginning of the day. Because really, with the antioxidants and the anti-inflammatory properties of the apple cider vinegar in here, once again, this is a beverage you can enjoy for breakfast. I'm gonna take a sip before I spill any more of its delicious goodness onto my fingers, which I am gonna lick once the camera's off. I am a lady after all. So, I'm gonna give a sip. Oh, it's so good. You've got to try one of these. 1 part syrup, 1 part apple cider vinegar, 2 parts whiskey. all part love for our teachers and all those parents who are braving back to school, and those parents who are keeping those kids home for safety as well. That is one hell of a kudos to them too. We're all doing what we can to get by and to keep ourselves happy and healthy and some semblance of sanity. Please, sanity be mine. So make yourself a teacher's pet. Be sure to subscribe below. Tell your friends. Have another listen to my theme song because it's so damn catchy. And I'm gonna lick my fingers now with the camera off. Tikka's Tipple signing out.